Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Muhammad Huzaifah Ahmed and I'm from Rehan School Korangi campus. Today I watched a TEDx talk called What We're Learning from Online Education by Daphne Koller. And this one is directly relevant to us as students because it's about whether quality education should be something only a few people can access or something the entire world can have. Collar opens by laying out a real problem. The cost of higher education has risen 560% since 1985. And even then, getting a degree doesn't always lead to a job. Meanwhile, in other parts of the world, access to education isn't even a matter of cost, it simply doesn't exist. In South Africa, the higher education system was defined during apartheid, and there are too few positions available. Thousands of people lined up to get a spot at university, resulting in a stampede where 20 were injured and a woman died trying to get a place for her son. Her response to this problem was Coursera, a platform she co-founded to bring courses from top universities online completely for free. When Stanford professor Andrew Ng offered a machine learning class online, 100,000 people or 1 lakh people enrolled. To reach the same number at Stanford, he would have to teach the same class for 250 years. But what makes this talk more than just a product page is what Collar says that they're actually learning from all of this. What made these courses different was that they were real course experiences. They started on a particular day. Students did real homework for real grades with real deadlines. And at the end, they received a certificate. She talks about features that transformed how students engaged. Content was broken into short, focused segments instead of long lectures. Students had access to instant feedback. Assessments were graded through peer and self-assessment, which she found could correlate very closely to what an instructor would have given as a grade. And students were self-organizing, forming study groups across countries, helping each other in forums, and collaborating with anyone telling them to. She also brings up two sigma problem. Research showing that a student with a personal tutor performs two standard deviations better than a student in a traditional classroom. We can't give each student an individual teacher or tutor, but maybe we can afford to give them a smartphone or at least a laptop. And unlike a human teacher, the platform never gets tired of explaining something again and again. What I found most valuable about this talk is that it reframes online education entirely. It's not just a convenient alternative, it's a genuine research tool. Every keystroke, quiz, and peer interaction becomes data that helps researchers understand how people actually learn. There's something a traditional classroom cannot offer, can never offer at scale. The part that stayed with me is the idea that the biggest barrier to education isn't intelligence or effort, it's access. There are talented people everywhere in the world who simply never get the opportunity. Koller believes that opening education globally would establish it as a fundamental right, enable lifelong learning, and open a door to a wave of innovation because amazing talent can be found anywhere. That's not just idealistic, that's a genuinely different vision of what the world could look like in the near future. Overall, this is a talk that makes you think about education not as a privilege for those who can afford it, but as something that belongs to each and everyone, and a technology to make that real already exists. If I had to summarize it in one line, it would be the best education in the world shouldn't depend on where you were born or how much money you have. I'd recommend this to anyone interested in education, technology, or just understanding how the future of learning is being shaped right now at the moment. That was my review of what we're learning by online education by Daphne Koller. Thank you, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.